and I wish you a great weekend. Today, for our Friday Night Spiritual Insights, we're going to talk about fate versus destiny, okay? Fate versus destiny. And I've done a talk along these lines now and then, but not specifically this. Fate versus destiny, because, people sometimes they use words interchangeably or they confuse the two. But most important, we want to clarify the meaning. So a lot of people get confused about these, but they don't merge the two together into one clear understanding. They don't take both. They might talk, or write or read about fate. They might do the same about destiny, but they don't bring them together and then let the lens focus and see what these are and what they're not, for that matter. So we have to understand them both to understand them each. And we have to understand them each to understand them both. That's how this rolls, like many topics. I did a talk a few weeks ago on peace versus understanding. And that to me is so crucial, because people just, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had in the thousands of sessions, private sessions I've done over the years with just counseling alone, let alone healing work, or with people that I've known, friends, and they'll say words like, I just need to understand, which means I need to get what I want. I need to get my head around something. I need to get my ego satisfied before I'm going to feel peace. But in fact, Christ consciousness tells us, and the Bible, the peace that surpasses understanding means what? There's something more important than your assumption that you need to understand something. Get the peace of God, you'll understand everything. Try to understand what your head wants, you'll never find the peace of God. Just saying. All right, so back to this. So, in a sense, they're the same in one sense, and I'll come back to that so that it doesn't sound contradictory, but they imply something that's inevitable or that's inevitably going to happen. Both fate and destiny are the same in that, and almost only in that. They imply something that here it comes. It's, something's going to happen. But again, there's differences. So explaining a little more, they're different, which is more than they are alike. They're different in that fate implies something like a negative destiny, where destiny is the opposite. But fate implies kind of a negative, like something that's like a karma, an impending fate, doom, that kind of vibe to it. And that doesn't really allow a fair assessment of things. In other words, when people just use the word fate, it's my fate. They think it means it's my destiny, but it doesn't. Be careful not to think that you have a fate. Fate can be changed. So can destiny, in a sense. But fate, the things you don't want to happen, can be changed, and that's very important. You don't want to change your destiny away from your destiny into something else negative. But you do want to change fate into something beautiful or positive. So just saying, destiny implies a goal or achievement rather than a karma meted out or a payment that was due. Instead, destiny is like, I've arrived. It's a destination. It comes from that word, destiny, destination, goal achieved, something we're guided towards. It's different. Fate is this impending doom. Destiny is this maybe sometimes long-awaited destiny or award, for lack of a better word. All right, so just something I'm going to add to that, like an example. If Luke Skywalker had listened to Darth Vader to follow, Luke, follow your destiny. It's your destiny to join me, in the dark side or whatever he's trying to tell him. If he would have listened to him, he actually would have been following his fate, which would have been fatalistic. Fate, fatalistic, destiny, and destination. They're similar words for each pair. So fate, fatalistic. So Darth Vader, or your own guidance, your own people telling you you'll never amount to anything, or, that's fatalistic. But if somebody says, they lure you in like Darth Vader, but I feel like there's a powerful energy between us. And you're like, warning, warning, warning. Oh, but they said there's some sort of thing that we're meant to be together. If it's hurtful, it's fate. And they'll use the word sometimes. It's fated to be. You and I are fated to be together. You better stop and go, wow, I don't want to be fatalistic together. That's different than destiny. And I've seen lots of people find partners, dates, partners, and whatever else, where they say, I just felt like I knew them from another lifetime. We felt just like immediately attracted to each other. But just because you've known somebody before doesn't mean it's destiny to be with them. Stop marrying your fate, your fatalistic people and relationships. Oh my God, sometimes humans, it's like, wow, Anyway, destiny, if Luke Skywalker, his destiny was to become a Jedi and a savior of people, in a sense. That's his destiny. When Darth is saying, this is your destiny to be on the dark side, no, that's fate or fatalistic. But when Luke is listening to, what's his name, Obi-Wan, that's destiny. It's like, Luke, it's your destiny to become a Jedi. Well, for you and I, that might take the role of a teacher, an author, a better parent, a better partner, because it's all mastery in your running a business, or you're being an employee, mastery in anything you do. Just, we're capable. I mean, we're God stuck in a body. So in a sense, we can know, let's pretend that God is 1 billion times what we are, which means in my little self, my little human space that I take up, I'm 1 billionth of my God self. And most people then only access 1 billionth of that billion. And they call themselves, humans trying to get by. But at least when you get to that full billionth of the billion of God, when you get to that billion, it's like mastery. It's like I have activated neurons and processes and consciousness that's beyond what most people do. The way most people think, the way they act, there's something new inside. That's the Jedi in today's standards, okay? The Jedi is a metaphor of whatever, it doesn't mean you have to be a soldier. It doesn't mean you have to be a politician or whatever. Instead, it means you have to become, it's almost like having your own little secret club of awakening. And you're like, right in here, I'm going to keep my hand close to me so that I can become a better person, not so much talk it on the outside, but how do I become that on the inside? So, fate, again, is associated with karma, curses, death. It was his fate, death, karma, again, soul contracts that are, needing to be fulfilled. That's fate. Unavoidable and unfortunate outcomes. That's fate. And again, obviously, you just use your imagination. What's the opposite? Destiny. And knowing the difference between these two, fate and destiny, some people might think, well, what does it matter? Knowing the difference between them and the definition, being clearer on the definition, can make huge differences in our lives. We can learn to cancel fate by clearing it. How do we clear it? Mainly through responsibility and forgiveness. So we have fate versus destiny. Fate, I want to clear. Destiny, I want to reach, fulfill. Fate, these negatives, but I can clear it. They're like soul contracts of a negative nature. I want to clear that. How? Mainly responsibility. Because if you don't own, wow, on some level, I mean, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't remember putting this into motion that's coming back, this fate. But if it's happening, I must have played a part somewhere. That's called responsibility. even for what I don't remember, I just have to learn to be so responsible, so profound of a being that I can still just own that if something's happening, I may have played a part. I just may have, just throw it out there, because it means then I'm in a place of power to change it. If you and I are, driving in a car and we have a driver in the front and we're sitting in the back and the driver has a heart attack, falls over. Oh, I can't believe he fell over. He's causing us to be in danger. I can't believe he would do this. Is that really what you're going to do? You climb over the seat and grab the wheel. It's not your fault he had a heart attack. It's not your fault that now you're in danger. It just is that you are where you are. Do something about it. You still are a participant. You still have a responsibility. Grab the wheel, don't grab the wheel. If you don't grab it, you crash, you played a part in that. And so on and so on, So we are afraid of that word, responsibility, but it turns everything, man. It just puts everything in such perspective. On another note, like I said, the other item on that to clear things is forgiveness. And the forgiveness is brilliant because I can forgive something and it starts clearing it. I don't have to go, okay, let's see, we're going to use 3 ounces of forgiveness. And now we cleared it 3 ounces. I got to, nope, better back off 1 ounce. You don't try to control it. You just do your best to go into the process of forgiveness, which you can't do without responsibility. You can't do as thoroughly without responsibility. And you get into a nice place of, I get it. Forgiveness. Wow, let go, let God. All those beautiful concepts and phrases we've heard, in our lives. Let go, let God. And, I'm not going to, even though this has happened, I'm not going to pretend it didn't, but I can affirm that it doesn't have to keep affecting me. Don't I have that right? Yes. I mean, a lot of people have said that. Viktor Frankl, an Auschwitz survivor, has shared pretty consistently that even if you can't seem to control your circumstances, you can control how you react to them. I mean, that's God, that's just amazing. And that is a level of responsibility. But Viktor Frankl is one out of how many Auschwitz, non-Auschwitz people that were there and people that weren't there, generations later even. Most will not understand what he's saying. How dare you say we can forgive? How dare you say it's up to us to decide how we react? No, 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 no. And that's what media does as well. Blame, 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 hate, hate, hate. Parents do it. Religion does it. Everybody contributes to that because they're part of a stinking world. The stench, man, of hate, fear. Nobody wants to own that that's there. Nobody wants to say, wow, this is a little off, isn't it? Nobody wants to see that. And it's the proverbial fable, the emperor's new clothes. People just have a hard time. They want to sit in their little weirdness, their judgments, their hate, and they want to just go, no, I love the emperor's new clothes. And that's like going along with corruption in politics or government. It's like going along with something isn't quite right. If you haven't figured it out, there's elections that are fixed and people will just turn a blind eye. There are ball games that are fixed. People will turn a blind eye. I don't want to know that. I want to have the delusion to think that I can root for my team. You can root for your team. I don't like you because you are from a different town. You have a different team. It's just all justifying hate. It's the weirdest thing. And they just don't want to be honest. There's, racism and reverse racism. How come nobody talks about that too? It's all messed up. Any form of hate. Anger is never justified, says A Course in Miracles. Resist not evil, says Jesus. But you don't have to be into either of those. And, say, no, I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in spirituality. I don't believe in God. I'm just going to hate anyway, And there's religious people that hate too, obviously. But, people want to stay in this. And then that is an ultimate example of what fate is. My hatred creates tomorrow. So my responses to today, my reactions and responses today become fate for tomorrow or destiny. But for these people that, as I'm describing, it becomes really just, fate. You're fated. You fix an election, it's your fate that you're going to pay for that in some way. You cause harm to people. You run through some new medicine on the market. You run it through because you're going to make billions. You pad the tests and reports so that you can make billions. It's fate. You're going to have problems. What goes around comes around. But it may not be this lifetime, but what goes around comes around. Destiny is your good. Anything you've ever done, you step into your destiny. Not just, I said fate you deal with through responsibility and forgiveness. Destiny is mainly by learning to co-create with God is how you reach your destiny, and also by nurturing your soul's purpose. Do you want to find your destiny? Do you want to step in your destiny, or do you want to just keep living fate? Clear the fate, clear the wounds, clear the hurts of the past. That's all. Those things are going to fate you towards something. What does fate represent? Karma, negatives, etc. Your choice to not be healed in certain areas will result in what? Whatever you call it, it's going to be fate. Your choice not to heal, fates you towards something negative. The doctor says you're drinking, you're smoking, they're going to cause cirrhosis, and it looks like your tests are coming back. You might have cirrhosis, you might have lung cancer, whatever. You should change this and that, and you don't. Well, you're setting your fate. You're setting your negative version of a goal, destiny, outcome, whatever, a negative version of that, and that's called fate. On the other hand, you have a terrible childhood, some wounding, you work on it, you heal it, you rise above, you transcend it with your connection with God. Like I said, you get in touch with your soul's purpose. You decide, I'm going to be a co-creator with God in my life. Man, things open up. Destiny, my destination is totally different. It's like, wow, I'm going to go great places because I've got God as my guide. That's destiny. And you can't, if you try to say, I'm going to set my own destiny, how many movies and books have done that? I'm going to be the master of my destiny. You can seemingly be the master of your destiny. But what most people don't realize is the master of their destiny is still essentially a control freak. So you will go from fate to a little nicer fate, something between fate and destiny, because it looks a little better. But if it's still you trying to manipulate your life and the universe and the world around you, it's still going to end up in some fatalistic outcome because only God is life. So it's the opposite of fate or fatal. Life. Do you want to have life? Then get in touch with the source of life and let God be your guide. Just some things to think about. Like I said, it's not just to intellectually explain so you go, well, now I know the definition of, fate and destiny. And I have no idea what Webster's or anybody else would say is the definition. I'm just telling you what the definition is, needs to be, or should be. I don't know what others might, say. But so today is not just to give you like a intellectual snippet of a definition. I'm trying to describe that the only similarity is that they're inevitable outcomes, but their differences are day and night. So it's wise to know the difference so that you pursue the correct one. Bid farewell to the wounds so they cannot set up your fate. Bid farewell to hurts and resentments, or they're going to become something hurtful. Keep smoking after even if you've got lung cancer, you're setting the stage for a negative outcome. And the same goes for, keep hurting people, negative karma, negative outcome. Keep living a selfish life, negative fate, negative outcome. Switch gears to, what, God, I've been living a selfish life, whether it's addiction or personality stuff. I need you as my guide. Help me out here. this presence descends upon us. The quantity of the presence that'll be perceived, seen, felt, whatever, will be determined by basically how much you do surrender. If you go, I surrender to the ocean of God, and you hold out a thimble, well, that's about it. You can talk it all you want. You're only holding out a thimble. You open the heart completely. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I deserve. You show me, God. I can sit here and tell you, I think I'm a male. I think of this. I think that. I think I'm a certain age. But if you sit there and determine I'm a certain age, with that will come, oh, well, you think you're that age? Well, hormones will now shift to match it. You think you're that age? There goes your skin and the collagen. You think you're a certain age? There goes your hair. You're gray, now. And because you're saying my identity is a certain age. When we say, I don't know, I just let God determine. Light fills us. Our brain is sharper. It doesn't mean you'll never have problems. You'll never be sick. But you'll be better than you were if you're trying to determine things. If I say, my parents were divorced, I don't have good modeling of healthy partner, like partnership, life mate type partnership. And now I've got like 5 failed marriages, or I've got, 3 failed partnerships of some kind. I might want to go, the person who came out of something like a family, they never could show me modeling of healthy male, female, or male, female, whatever. I don't have that. So I am going to create my own destiny. You're not. You're fated because you're wounded still. So all your partners, whomever you choose, they never even have a chance because they're partnering up, and they have their own lessons. They're partnering up with somebody who's living fate. So they might as well just go, well, okay, it's kind of like I'm going to marry somebody who already has diagnoses they're going to be dead in a few weeks. You can do that. I think it's a loving thing to do if you're in love with a person. It's a stupid thing to do if you don't love a person and just go, well, I'm just going to clumsily do this. This person's name's Harold, and my mother married a guy named Harold. It seems like destiny. No, it isn't. You're repeating patterns of the past. That's called fate. You're blindly going into areas that are not necessary. Fate. You want to create your own reality? Don't. You're already creating your own reality by living in fate. Do you want to change your life? You can't without God. And I'm not trying to give you like a religious speech here. I'm not trying to, sound like a televangelist, that maybe some of them are sincere. Some of them just say the words. And I'm not trying to sound like you need God in your life. I'm trying to explain we do need God. I'm saying it's true. Exodus 3:5 says, and John 3:6 says, it's not like that at all. I'm saying this is the way it works. The world we've created has been fate and only fate. We're up creek, since day one, because we keep trying to create our own reality. There's no creating our own reality. You're making up your own reality. Creation comes from God. You have to be a co-creator with God to create, and it wouldn't be called your own reality. Instead, I'm going to create more reality in my life. Capital R, in fact. But I'm going to create more reality in my life. I'm going to co-create with God more reality. I'm going to co-create and contribute to a world that can become a more peaceful place. But no, I'm not going to do that because I have opinions and I'm going to be heard, and I need to be heard, have to be heard. I got to express myself. Throat chakra needs to open, so I got to tell you how much I hate people. That's not really throat chakra. I mean, it is, but that's not sublime. That's not light coming through. It's your garbage, your unhealed wounds. So, how much are you going to resist evil and fight evil that you perceive evil? All I know is if I perceive evil, I'm perceiving myself, because the outside world is the mirror. It's a hologram of the inside. Call things evil, call people evil, hate people, judge and you are judged. Hate and you are automatically hated. By who? First and foremost, by yourself. But you will attract more people hating you when you're a hateful person. Now, you could even argue Buddha, Jesus, Mother Teresa, nice people and all. They also had people hating them, but they also have billions loving them, compared to the handful of other, whether dead or alive. So it's this world tries to stir hatred, but hate, and you're drawing that more to yourself. And also, when I hate and I draw it to me, it's going to hurt me because it's coming from my own hate that I'm trying to deny in me, and I'm putting it on others. So it's going to hurt. A wise, like a Jesus, is loving, and he still attracts hate, but he doesn't respond to it like hate. So that's getting neutralized in the cycle of, it's coming from me, I love, you respond with hate, I respond with love, your hate is neutralized. No fate, no karma, no negatives that are going to come back to me. That's part of what we mean by choose again. That's part of what we mean by, you can change these experiences. You can change reality. Okay? I appreciate the time, guys. Blessings to you all. Join us anytime. Join us Fridays like this, 5:30 every Friday. I have courses that I teach, usually on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. Right now we're doing some Course in Spiritual Awakening. You're welcome to join if you like. We'll be doing that through the rest of the year, in fact. And I have Sunday Sacred Services. Those are the Sacred Services from Unity of Sedona. And we do those, every Sunday, 10 o'clock. And all the time zones are always Arizona time. So remember that. Always check for Arizona time. So join us. And, I have a website, michaelmirdad.com. You can go there and see if there's something, interesting. Free articles. There's lots of free videos. YouTube, hundreds of videos of mine, all free. And some people have recently said, Michael, we really appreciate you not monetizing all your videos. I guess, we could do that. I never really have had an interest in selling something when I'm teaching. It kind of doesn't make sense, especially if someone else is determining what we're selling. They get to decide. Now, if you said to me, Michael, listen, I have a professional company, it's established, and it's something, holistic medicine kind of a clinic. Could we monetize? Could we put or trade or whatever an ad, on your, I'd more like consider that. Not that I know how to do that. My team would do it, but we would consider that, I guess. But I also don't like the distractions. I'm teaching about something and then, boom, right in the middle of a video sometimes, let's talk about selling something. It's odd. If I were in your shoes, I'd be like, okay, you kind of lost me. You had me like this really powerful, deep stuff, and then boom, an ad. So do unto others, and I would not do that unto others, and I wouldn't want that done to myself. So that's kind of my thing. But thank you for suggesting that we do. Maybe someday we will, if there's a little more, where we can scrutinize that it be something of the highest integrity. But until then, I got hundreds of videos you guys can watch. Over the last several years, they've been filmed. I have DVD sets that are, and this is all congruent with the talks. It's not like some ad for something unrelated. But I've got a lot of DVD sets, books you can order on Amazon or on my own website. Okay. And there's other people that have things on my website that I'm happy that they're on there. So check out those. We have astrology charts and things. I just love that, supporting people that are following their soul's purpose with their gifts, whether it's readings or whatever they do. Okay. Crafts, art, All right. So lots of love to you. Thank you so much for everything. And if you'd like to make a donation, please do so. Please, consider that. If you don't, no problem. But if you do, we really appreciate it because that's how we, it's how we afford these programs, and it's how we get by. It's how we, are financed, so to speak, through donations. So you can donate to my website. There'll be a link on my website. You can, but special website is the Foundation for Christ Consciousness. You can go there and, post a donation. It could be whatever amount, okay? You can be a consistent donor monthly, or you can just do one time, whatever you like. But God bless, God bless, God bless. We'll see you. Bye-bye.